So it's been a bit. I actually missed a week of skating, which is the first time I haven't skated in a long time. Took the family down to Disney World in Florida, and apparently Disney has really strict rules about being rollerblading on property. So I didn't skate. My good friend Rob Harrington showed up. He was going to go skate with me, but unfortunately we weren't able to skate. But he did come by, and we had a couple drinks and hung out. So it was really great to catch up. Again, the rollerblading community is amazing. So thanks, Rob, for coming out. Really appreciate it. So while I was gone, the stickers came in. So I've got the Back to Blading stickers. I've got the Ask Me About Blading stickers and the Back to Blading logo. You can go to backtoblading.com/shop to get a sticker. I think they're $2, free shipping worldwide. If you're a Patreon, I will be sending out an email this week to send you a set of stickers. So I'm still on the K2 Front Street. What a nightmare that last session was, right? So these skates are so odd. The way that they came, they had that super long frame. I thought it was like 290. Turns out it's 298, which is just ridiculously long. I mean, it's like 30 millimeters longer than the long frame that 50/50 makes. So I don't know why the frame is that long. I feel like that's for like a size 13 and up, which is definitely the wrong size frame for a size 10.5. But as I mentioned last video, I do have a set of the smaller frames. So these are the medium frames. They come on the size 10 and below. They are 258 from 1 to 4. And they're also the same flat. They come with the 58 millimeter wheels. I think they fit up to a 61. But these look great. They look like the right size, right length. It does look a little bit shifted, doesn't it? So like the heel looks good, but then the front doesn't look. It's weird. It's like this whole boot is just shifted back like 20 mil or something like that. So anyway, I'm real excited to try these out. I think that it's going to be a much better feel when I'm skating. The wheelbase is much shorter, which means that I'll be able to turn a little bit easier. The other ones felt really long, kind of like I'm skating anti-rocker on like a large frame where it's just like stride, stride, stride. Here, I feel like I'm going to be able to turn a little bit. But this boot is still going to be super stiff. So the way that this boot is constructed, this leather is extremely solid, which is probably great when they're broken in. But until they break in, it's just stuck. Like you can't bend your foot forward. I had a couple recommendations from the comments. Thanks again. I read every comment and I reply to as many as I can. I got some recommendations in the comments for ways that I could break them in a little faster. I've been out of town, so I haven't done any of those. But one of the recommendations is with a lacing. So they say that, lacing them up all the way like I've got them here, probably a bad idea. It restricts the movement, so I'm going to lace them, I don't know how low, probably a couple more down, probably down to the 45 to be honest, and just let the 45 sit there. And then other than that, buckle them up and just try to move it around. So eventually there's going to be this crease. You can kind of see it forming here, where there's this crease in the boot that allows me to lean forward and backwards. Until that crease is there, it's just going to be a very upright skate, which is not fun. Again, if this is the first time, I had a Gear Talk chat about the K2 Fatty and the Front Street. If this is your first time back to blading, don't get these skates. They look great and they look, nostalgic like the K2 Fatty, but the initial skate is going to turn people off. If the first time you skate back is the feeling that I'm getting with these skates, people aren't going to skate. So I highly recommended them skate. I highly recommend the Aeon. I think those are the two best aggressive skates if people are interested in getting back into it. Don't get these. I think these are for a very specific purpose. I hope that in the next month of skating them, I get to a point where I appreciate it. But as they are right now, I can't recommend them. But here comes another day. Let's see how I can skate them today.
tranny was even harder. Well, that's one thing about it. It's like when you.
What a difference. I mean, they feel skatable. So I laced them down. So I skipped the top 3 lace holes, and I'm lacing right below the 45-degree strap. 45-degree strap is as tight as it, as it should be, which is, as tight as I can get it. The buckle isn't super restricted. It's fairly restricted, but it's not super restricted, and I can actually flex. It feels better. It feels much better. No digging into my shin like I had with the setup last time. A little bit of flex. I still can't really squat down, I feel. But yeah, it feels so much better. And this wheelbase feels normal, right? I mean, it just feels like I'm skating. I do feel, when I look down, it just looks weird. Like, I wish that the frame was more centered around the boot. And I'm sure that the boot has, like, I don't know, maybe a bigger toe cap. So it makes it like an illusion to make it look bigger, like the rollerblade New Jacks were. But I like being able to see my wheels when I look down. And with a 258, I should be able to see my wheels, and I can't. So, but I can in the back, which is bizarre. So, all right, let's try some grinds. Wow. I mean, it's completely different. Completely different. Like, I think I didn't consider how much bending of the ankle goes into grinds. So when you're doing a sole grind, if you're standing up straight, it's going to be more difficult. You squat down, that's fine, but you got to balance that back foot and put that knee in front of you. The only way to put your knee in front of you is if you bend your ankle forward. And now I can do it. I think the laces were the big problem. If I were skating last week without these skates laced all the way up, I would have had a very different experience. Funny enough, so considering all the other skates that I've tried, this is how the New Jacks come. So the rollerblade New Jacks only have laces on the bottom part. You can't lace past the 45-degree strap. There just isn't a lace hole. This is probably a better design. Instead of having the laces all the way up to the top, just lace to the bottom, 45-degree strap, and then buckle. I mean, why do you need laces all the way up? Especially if they're going to constrict your movements. It doesn't make sense. All right, here comes some Royales. See if my theory checks out. I got it. Yeah, get over it. All right, so a couple things are happening. First, this ledge is so much better than the one at Durham. I've got a nice run up. I can get speed, I can get set. You know, the one at Durham, you got to skate really fast and then turn and jump like at the same time. So, and this is nice and waxed. It's always the best, smoothest ledge in the triangle. So, really great. I think the laces are the key. So unlacing that top, I was able to pull my toes up a little bit, and you know, just like on the sole grind, you got to pull your toes up if you want to get set, and that was impossible to do with that lacing system before. Now I feel like, you know, I can sit down on it, pull up my toes, and just ride. My angle is off. I'm doing more of a set slide than a Royale, and I got to fix that. But I got a couple in there that, you know, felt like Royales. So, all right, a couple more, and then backside. Scary. Ah, slippage. Ah. Feeling it. That was it. All right, I'm getting it. Landed a couple. Felt good. I'm just exhausted. It's funny, 2 weeks off. Really just a week off, right? And I'm winded again. I will say that Disney has a lot of steps. We probably averaged around 20,000 a day, which is ridiculous, but this is different muscles, so. But I'm feeling it. Definitely feeling it. All right, get some water, and then try it again. Come on. Come on. I just keep slipping out. I just keep slipping out. I want this, but I don't have the energy. Heart is just racing and I'm exhausted. See if I can rest up a few minutes and get it. I know that I'm locking on. It's just that when I lock on, I roll up too much on top of the curb, the ledge. So I need to stay off it, which means on my approach, I need to go more parallel with the ledge rather than into it like I'm doing. I think that's the trick, but easier said than done. Yeah! Oh, come on. Man, I'm so close, but I just don't have the energy. Heart's beating crazy. Legs are falling out in front of me. Well, I think I figured it out. At least for the initial break-in period, lacing all the way up is just going to restrict your movement. You've got to unlace the first 3 eyelets. Otherwise, it's just pointless. You won't be able to bend forward. The frames didn't make a huge difference. It felt better, but to be honest, I think that I could skate those long frames here. It was harder at Durham because the turns are faster, but here at Marsh, it's mostly, you know, carving bowls and there's straight lines, so I don't think that would make a huge difference. But definitely not skating for 2 weeks
is the big change. I just don't have the leg muscles, which is crazy. But baby steps. Need to do some yoga or some squats during the week to get back in shape. Thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a couple weeks, but really appreciate the support. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I can address. I'm going to try to do a gear talk this week. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, so I might skip it a week since I took a week off and I wasn't really thinking about things. So I might skip a week and just try to come up with a few more topics. But if you have any topics that you'd like to address, I'd love to hear them. Final thing, stickers. If you want stickers, backtoblading.com/shop, and Patreon supporters, look for an email this week to get your name and address. Even $1 a month, we'll get you some stickers. So, thanks everyone for watching. See you guys next week.